The Undying Love, the story of Hosea and Gomer. The very first thing God ever said to Hosea tells us about his unlikely marriage. Go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredoms, departing from the Lord. Hosea, without any question, obeyed God, gave Gomer a ring, and married her. He found his heart drawn to her in deep and unselfish love. The early days of their marriage were beautiful as their love began to blossom, and God blessed their union with a son. How Hosea's heart must have swelled with joy. God named the baby Jezreel. It was after the birth of Jezreel that Hosea seemed to have noticed a change in Gomer. On the other hand, he went on preaching, encouraging the wayward nation to turn from its sin. But Gomer seemed less and less interested in his ministry. She began to find other interests to occupy herself and spent more and more time away from home. Then, Gomer got pregnant twice, and Hosea's suspicions were confirmed. Everyone knew about Gomer's affairs, but Hosea's prophecy describes God's relationship with his unfaithful wife Israel. It is difficult to escape the feeling that it grows out of Hosea's relationship with Gomer. He pleaded with her. He tried to stop her on several occasions, but still, she ran off with her lovers because they promised the lavish material things of her. How Hosea must have suffered. He loved her deeply and grieved for her. His heart ached that she should choose a life that would surely bring her to ruin. Still, he longed for her to come home. Then the Lord said to Hosea, "Go again, Hosea. Go find her. Love this woman who is loved by her husband and is right now committing adultery. Go find her, Hosea. Go find her. Just like the love of the Lord for Israel." That must have been a heart-wrenching process, as Hosea go looking for his wife, who is a former prostitute, and who is now back into prostitution. How messy is that search? How painful is that pursuit? Here is Hosea looking for who? Looking for his wife, searching, driven by that indestructible divine love. Love that beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. A love that never ends. And he found her. He found her ragged, torn, sick, dirty, disheveled, destitute, naked, chained, and shackled to an auction block in a filthy slave market, being sold to the highest bidder, a repulsive shadow of the woman she once was. How could anyone love her now? But Hosea sees there his wife, the mother of her 3 children. Hosea bought her for 15 shekels of silver. He paid for what is already his. She is Hosea's wife. He actually paid for her, brought her home, and eventually restored her to her position as his wife. When Hosea looked in her eyes when he paid the price, she hung her head in embarrassment. Hosea is a picture of God, and no offense, you and I are a picture of Gomer. Mankind is the unique possession of the Creator God, and yet, 2,000 years ago, he paid a dear price. He paid for what he already possessed. Jesus lovingly gave his life to purchase back what he already owed. How much? His blood, his life.
Thank you very much. Group number 4. Enjoy that? Yes. So this time, we will be going to witness another group who are always going to present again to us another Bible character. Okay, so group number 3, I want you all to come here, please, so that you can prepare yourself. Come, because your time will start very soon. So get ready. Okay. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed group number 4, the presentation in the life of Prophet Hosea. That is how the Lord loved you and me. No? Every time we run away from God, God looks for us, for man, so that He can restore man back to his side. And folks, God's love is everlasting. So let us this time again witness the presentation of the second group from group number 3. You have a few minutes to prepare and go ahead. You have 1 more minute in your preparation time. Maximum of 1 minute. If you are ready, you may go ahead and start leadership. 20 seconds. Fine.
Kasi pag ito siya, mag-test yung spotlight. Tapos na pwede ba rin? Hindi ko alam sino bang si Walter. Si Walter.
Daddy's crying. Daddy's crying.
At pinatayo niya ito sa kapatagan ng Dura sa lalawigan ng Babylonia. Pagkatapos, ipinatawag niya ang mga pinuno ng mga rehiyon, mga pinuno ng mga hukbo, mga gobernador ng mga lalawigan, mga tagapayo, mga inatyangan, mga hukom, mga mahistrado, at iba pang mga pinuno ng kaharian para sa pagtatalaga sa nasabing rebulto. Nang nasa harap na sila ng rebulto, malakas na ipanahiyag ng tagapagbalita.
Pag ito, hindi nakikita yung video.
Iniuutos sa lahat ng tao, mula sa lahat ng bansa at wika, na lumuhod at sumamba sa rebulto ipinagawa ni Haring Nebuchadnezzar. Sa sandaling marinig ang tunog ng tambuli, flauta, lira, sitar, alpa at iba pang instrumento. Sino mang hindi sumunod sa utos na ito ay iahagis agad sa naglalagablab na pugon.
Patugtugin ang instrumento.
Buhay ang
Nasa
mahal
gilid siya
mo.
tapos doon tayo. Bukas pa rin yun.
Di po ba?
Ano pa sa play-doh?
Lumuhod at sumamba ang sino mang makalimutan.
Parang
Ay iahagis sa naglalagablab na pugon. Mahal na hari, ni Shadrach, Meshach at Abednego po ang mga hudyo ang lagay ninyo bilang mga pinagmamahala sa Babylonia. Hindi sila lumuluhod, di sumasawa sa rebulto ng pinagawa.
Shadrach! Meshach! Abednego! Halika kayo dito!
tapos may spotlight.
Totoo ba ang aking narinig na kayo ay hindi sumasamba sa aking ribultong pinagawa? Nilumuhod sa mga Diyos-Diyos ang aking pinagawa. Kaya inuutos ko na kayo ay lumuhod at sumamba sa aking Diyos na pinagawa sa ribultong ginto sa tuwing marinig nyo ang instrumento. At kung hindi,
Hindi pala pwede.
papatapon ko kayo sa naglalagablab na pugon. Ha? Tingnan ko lang kung merong Diyos na makakapagligtas sa inyo.
Mahal na Haring Nebuchadnezzar, wala po kaming masasabi tungkol sa bagay na ito. Tungkol sa inyo. Kung yan ang gusto niyong gawin niyo po, ang aming Diyos na pinaglilingkuran at ang magliligtas sa amin sa naglalagablab ng pugon at sa inyong kapangyarihan.
At mahal na hari, kung hindi man po kami iligtas ng aming Panginoon, hindi pa rin kami maglilingkod sa inyong Diyos. Sasamba sa ipinagawa niyong gintong ribulto.
Ha! Kawan! Painitin ang pitong pes ng pugon! Ikapos sila! At ihangs doon! Kawan! Halika! Hindi ba? Ito lang ang aking inihagis sa pugon? Bakit? Bakit dapat ang aking nakikita dito? Ha? Ha? Talusig! Talusig, anak ng Diyos! Shadrach! Meshach! Abednego! Mga lingkod ng kataas-taasang Diyos! Halika kayo dito! Walang amoy usok ang kanilang mga damit. Hindi yung kanilang mga buhok ay hindi nasunog. Kanilang mga kasuotan. Purihin ang Diyos nila Shadrach, Meshach at Abednego. Sinugo niya ang kanyang anghel upang iligtas ang kanyang mga lingkod na nagsinusampalataya sa kanya. Hindi nila sinunod ang aking utos, bagkus ginusto pa nilang ihagis sa pugon. Kaya inuulit ko at aking ipinag-uutos sa anumang bansa o lahi o wika na magsalita laban sa Diyos ni Shadrach, Meshach at Abednego ay aking papatayin at wawasakin ang kanilang mga bahay pagkat walang Diyos na makakagawa sa tulad sa Diyos ni Shadrach, Meshach at Abednego. Purihin ang Diyos ni Shadrach, Meshach at Abednego! Purihin!
Mahirap kayo. Mahirap yun ako mamaya. Hindi na po.
That is from group number 3. So, let's ask group number 2 to prepare themselves and clap also. Your time is about to start. Okay, so thank you very much. Group number 3, Brother Mike and group members. That will proclaim to us the life of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego during the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon. So at this time, we are going to witness again the presentation from group number 2. By the way, before they present, let me welcome to this evening one of our friends and a brother who was with us this morning, Brad. Your first name is Justin. Okay. Justin, will you please stand, Brad? Welcome to our evening of competition with our young people. And Sister Iris, the one who invited him again. Praise thank God for his presence. He told me that he is also a believer in Christ. He was just newly baptized in the church back in the U.S. And we praise and thank God we have a brother with us this evening. And witnessing also the competition of our young people. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, group number 2 is going to present their drama also. And the time to prepare already starts now. while the group is in preparation, I'd like to also advise the last group, whatever props or things that you need to prepare, you may prepare it now. So that when your time is cold, you are almost ready in all of the preparations. So you will be saving time also in all of these preparations, especially your backdrops or your props for the presentation. Okay? So in a few minutes, this group number 3, group number 2 will be starting their trial. Thank you very much. We have 1 more minute, group number 2, for you to start. Last 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds.
I scared away, Papa.
Also the life of our whole family, all in the name of the Lord. It was because of her strong faith and trust in God But she and her family were saved when the walls of Jericho fell. Like Rahab, we're about to face an even greater test of faith. Is our faith strong as Rahab's? Strong enough to put our life on the line? We can learn a lot from Rahab's example.
Joshua, Moses, my servant, is dead. Therefore, the time has come for you to lead these people, the Israelites, across the Jordan River into the land I am giving them. No one will be able to stand against you as long as you live, for I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will not fail you or abandon you. Be courageous and strong, for you are the one who will cause these people to inherit the land that I swore to their forefathers to give to them.
So Joshua proceeded to command the officers of the people.
Pass to the camp and get the people ready. In 3 days we will cross the Jordan River and take Jericho.
Where you send us, we will go.
We will listen to you just as how we did to Moses.
May God be with you like Moses.
Go! Take a look at the land in Jericho.
Joshua sent 2 men out secretly from Shittim as spies. So the men went to the city of Jericho at night and tried their best to get inside without being seen. Once they were inside the city, they found the house of a woman named Rahab and asked if they could stay there. Her house was built right into the wall of the city. She agreed to let them stay and hide them from the king. Someone has seen the men enter to the house of Rahab, because the king of Jericho was told that 2 spies from Israel had come to their city. The king was very angry.
I need soldiers! Where are my soldiers? Here we are, O great king of Jericho. How may we serve you? Some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy the land. Right away, king. Go get them!
So the king sent soldiers to Rahab's house. Soldiers demanded that she hand over the men who had come to her house. Rahab had hidden the men under the piles of stalks of flax, so the soldiers didn't find them.
Open up in the name of the king.
What do you want?
I want those spies. Bring out the men who came to you and enter your house
So
because
the
they come to our
soldiers
land
chased after the men along.
spy our whole land.
2 men came to my house, but I don't know where they're from. They came when it was dark, and the gates of the city was being shut. But they already left. And although I don't know which way they went, but if you hurry now and chase after them, you might be able to catch them.
So the soldiers chased after the men along the fords of Jordan. After the soldiers had left, she went up to her room to tell the men it is safe to come out.
I know you men are spies from the Israel. I know that the Lord has given you this land, and that a great fear has fallen on us because of you.
So you have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea when we came out of Egypt?
Yes, I have. I also heard what he did to Sihon and Og, the two Amorite kings east of the Jordan, whom you have completely destroyed.
Really? It was our God who did that all for us.
When we heard all these things, our hearts melted, and the people's courage failed. For your God is God of heaven above and of earth below.
Yes. Our God is the most powerful God around.
Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, as I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father, mother, brothers and sisters, and all the lives who belong to them, and that you will spare us from death.
Our lives for your lives! If you don't tell what we are doing, we'll treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land.
How are we going to get out of here?
I'll let you down by the rope through the window, because this house is part of the city wall. Hide yourself in the hills for 3 days, so the pursuers will not find you, and then go your way.
This oath you made us swear will not be binding on us, and unless you have tied this scarlet cord into the window through which you let us down, and unless your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your family into your house.
If anyone goes outside of your house into the street, his blood will be on his own head. We will not be responsible.
As for anyone who is on your house with you, his blood will be on our head if a hand is laid on him. But if you tell what we are doing, we will release from the oath you made us swear.
After they left the city, the men hid to the hills for 3 days until the soldiers searching for them had returned to Jericho. And the men went back to Joshua to perform all they had seen and seen.
Sir, Jericho is locked up, tighter than a drum.
The Lord has surely given this whole land into our hands.
All the people are melting in fear because of us.
They are scared to death of what our God can do.
But we almost got caught by the Jericho soldiers.
But a lady named Rahab hid us.
We promised to spare her life and her family when we conquered the city.
I'll give the orders. Anyone in the house with a scarlet cord hanging out in the window is to be left alone. Now, let's get ready to march around the city.
So Joshua and the people followed God's instruction to prepare themselves to enter the promised land. After many days, they took the Ark of the Covenant and all their possessions and marched across the river of Jordan to conquer Jericho. As he has done with the Red Sea, God stopped the waters of the river Jordan so they could cross on dry land. God gave them specific instruction for what to do when they came to Jericho. He told them to march around the city once a day for 6 days, and on the 7th day to march around the city 7 times. He told them to put the soldiers in front, followed by 7 priests who have trumpet made from ram's horn. The priests were to blow the horns continually as they marched. After the priests came the Ark of the Covenant and blew horns. The people did what God commanded. They marched around the city once a day for 6 days. And early people people inside the wall of Jericho were very scared. They knew something was going to happen. But this had to be strange to them. The Israelites weren't attacking, just marching around and making a lot of noise. On the seventh day, the Israelites marched around the city, just that they had every other day. They did it 7 times in a row. On the 7th time, Joshua told them,
Shout, for the Lord has given you this city.
The noise was so deafening, and the walls began to shake. The great wall of Jericho crumbled into pieces of rubble. The Israelites entered and attacked the city.
Attack!
Rahab arrived in safety. They proceeded to set them down outside the camp of Israel. Rahab and her family were saved because they called upon the name of the Lord.
Lights, please. Thank you very much. Let's give them a big hand, please. That is from group number 2. Okay. So now, brethren, we are about to witness the last but not the least for this presentation tonight. Are you blessed? Those are the comments of our people. Okay. So, group number 1, you may start preparing now. You have 2 minutes to prepare your backdrops and everything, your sound props. Hello. Okay, your time to prepare is nice now. And all of us brethren who are wanting to visit the toilet, you may go and visit the toilet if you want before the presentation of the group number 1. Okay.
Like this.
Papa, Brethren is
You have 1 minute.
and 16 refugees, sir. Losses? None, sir. Coming! Coming!
The Syrian had gone out by companies and brought away captive out from the land of Israel a little maid, and she waited on the wife of Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, to whom the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. And one went in and told his Lord, saying, Thus said the maid that is of the land of Israel. And the king of Syria said, Go, and I will send the letter unto the king of Israel. And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, saying, Now, when this letter is come unto thee, behold, I have therewith sent Naaman my servant to thee, that thou mayest recover him of his leprosy. And it came to pass, when the king of Israel had read the letter, that he rent his clothes.
Am I God to kill and to make alive? But this man is sent unto me to recover a man of his leprosy. But consider, I pray you, and see how sick at the quarrel against me.
The man of God had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot, and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him.
Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, shalt come again to me, and thou shalt be clean. Behold, I thought you will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God and strike his hand over the place and recover the latter. Are Abana and Parbar, rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters in Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean?
And Naaman with his company went to the Jordan River.
My father, if the prophet had bid thee to go wash into the waters of Jordan, why thou not should do it?
Then he went down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God. And his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. And Naaman returned to the man of God of the land of